Guardians, 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 Guardians. Bungie, Twitter, Destiny 2 announced. Officially announced, not leaked. I am so excited right now, I can't really even hold it in. But I'm also kind of underwhelmed because all they did when they announced it was put up a picture. Now what's on this picture is both underwhelming and interesting. It is basically the Traveler with with Destiny on it and a giant 2. Like literally this 2 is huge. It's not even a Roman numeral. Which you would expect considering they use Latin a lot in the game. But no, it's just the English Roman numeral 2. I guess that makes sense because if you did a Latin, the Roman numeral 2 might get confused with the I in Destiny. It would kind of hide the I, actually. Now, what's interesting about this picture is that it has the Traveler. And from what I can tell, the Traveler is either repairing itself because the damaged, the scorched and broken underparts of the Traveler aren't as prominent. You can still see some of them, but they aren't as obvious. It looks more like they're just scorch marks as opposed to having the entire underside being scraped off. That may just be my eyes, I don't know. But what's underneath it is the city, and the city is on fire. Now beyond that, we can't really see much. We just see the city, and we see smoke, and we see flames coming up from certain parts of the districts. Beyond that, we can't really see anything. So this gives us a hint as to what we're going to be seeing in Destiny 2. It's going to be city related. Now in Destiny 1, many people complained that, hey, you see that city over there? Why can't we go down there? Why can't we interact with the everyday citizen that lives not in the tower? Like, we're Guardians, we're greater than life. The Iron Lords were known as immortal soldiers, and before the Iron Lords, we were warlords because that's what we could do. We had these powers and we could rule humanity. But then came the Iron Lords who gave rise to order. And then from the Iron Lords, we have the Guardians that we know today. And now pretty much everyone's on the same page. Of course, we have our favorite Guardians in the form of Eris Morn. Said no one ever. Cade. Said everyone ever. Zavala. The Speaker. No one likes him. I'm just kidding. No one actually cares about the Speaker because he hasn't been relevant since Vanilla Destiny. Shaxx. We like him. We like Shaxx. But we have other characters that we like too. Like, we have Amanda Holiday. Amanda Holiday is not a Guardian. I mean, the tower is mostly for Guardians, but certain members of the human race that aren't Guardians are permitted onto the tower due to their exceptional skills. Amanda Holiday is a mechanic, and a very good one at that. She's just an ordinary person, and if you've ever tried to get the chaperone, you'll know that she has some pretty interesting backstory. On their way to the city, her mom used the chaperone to defend their family from threats. I don't remember if her family survived, but she did, and she gives you the chaperone for completing the quest. We are basically gods, and we forget that. It's like, oh yeah, we're just Guardians, this is normal. This is my life now. Throwing space magic. Yep, it's my life. But to everyone else, we've got to be the legends they tell our kids about. I mean, you've all seen the trailer, The Strength of the Wolf is the Pack. That's just a random guy telling his kid about us, Guardians. We've got to be superheroes. But we never really get to see that impact that Guardians have on humanity. This is the last city of humanity. It's the only city in the world right now that's living, or that's thriving anyway. And that's because we're like sitting right under the Traveler. And she's like, yeah, we're safe here. Let's build a city. And here we see in the picture that it's under attack. Now we have several questions, chiefly being A, notice that this logo looks eerily similar to the one on the leaked posters that came out earlier in the week. We can safely assume that the leaks we saw earlier this week were legit based on the similarity of the giant 2 logo, which may or may not be important. Most people thought that they were legit anyway, but it's nice just to have confirmation. Secondly, second, get it? See what I did there? I'm special and funny. You should like this video. Secondly, it raises questions of who is attacking the city. We've already beaten back the Hive pretty solidly. Of course, we do have to deal with Sathona and Xivu Arath, but they're so far away because they broke away from Oryx in order to have room to expand. This is basically Oryx's domain of the universe. And Sathona and Xivu Arath, I don't even know if they know where Earth is, or if they have to come find us. No doubt they know that Oryx is dead, their big brother, but probably not going to be on their way anytime soon. We'll still have to deal with the Hive, I'm sure, but not Hive like Oryx. And besides that, Oryx was stronger than Xivu Arath or Sathona. Sathona? No, it's Savathun, isn't it? Yeah, it's Savathun. She changed her name. The Vex are going to definitely be getting more lore, because we haven't really had any Vex-related expansions, save the Age of Triumph, which really just gives us new gear and no new lore, and since Vanilla Destiny, which actually was mostly Vex-centered. Then we had a Hive-related expansion, a Fallen-related expansion, another Hive-related expansion, and a Fallen-related expansion. We've been ignoring the Vex and the Cabal for a long time. We got a little bit more Cabal lore with the Taken King, and that's only because they were caught up in the crossfire. Now, we know that the Cabal sent out a message to High Command saying, hey, yeah, we have about 5 different races fighting over the same thing, and we're getting whittled down to nothing. Also, Oryx showed up, so there's that. We need reinforcements. So we know that the Cabal High Command will be sending reinforcements to Earth post-haste. Now, the question is, when that will happen, how long it will take them to get here. Remember, this is a sequel, so we don't know how much time has passed. It's possible that several decades have passed between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Now, that's possible. There isn't really any information, to support that, but it's a theory I have that it's not going to be directly after Destiny 1. There's going to be a large time leap. Now, we may not be able to see certain characters again. Amanda Holiday, I mean, she's Bae, but, she's not a Guardian. She may grow old and die. She may become a Guardian after she dies. That would be cool. But there's no guarantee, and there's nothing saying that she will or won't. So, there's that sliver of hope. The Fallen are fighting amongst themselves. They are literally falling apart. Now, according to their lore, there used to be billions and billions and billions and billions of them all over their section of the galaxy. Of course, the whirlwind ripped it all away, and much like humanity, they're down to, well, they're Kells, and we're down to our last city. So there may not be billions and billions and billions and billions of them anymore, but there certainly are a lot. We don't really get a sense of how many there are left of that race, because, well, you go on strikes, you kill more Fallen, you don't really care about how many there are. You don't realize that you're killing an endangered species. Problem is that the Elixni, the Fallen, they're fighting amongst themselves, and they probably, the amount left on Earth are so slim that the only house still in power right now, as far as we're aware of in the lore, is the House of Kings. Because we've only had one particular strike where we fought any House of Kings, and that was during a meeting with the House of Wolves. Now, of course, we killed Skolas and ended the House of Wolves' terror, but the House of Kings is still out there. What we don't know is whether the House of Kings is plotting to destroy the city, which they probably are, which would probably make sense if they were the ones to do this damage to the city, because, well, let's face it, they're kind of badass, and if anyone can get anything done, they probably could. But otherwise, I would like to believe that the House of Kings finally decide, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna join the humans, and then we'll have Fallen Guardians. And that would be super, super cool. But no guarantees, and probably unlikely. Still though, that'd be cool. At least give us like a Fallen companion. That'd be awesome. That'd be even better. We are friends, Guardians. Mine's over there. Dismantle, yes, or die. Oh god, Vex, please, I have PTSD, stop it. That leaves the possibly Cabal, but probably Vex attacking the city. It may even be a threat that we haven't seen yet, which would be interesting. I mean, it's kind of necessary. Destiny 2 is going to need more enemies to keep us interested. There are more than just the 4 races, there are the 5 races in the entire galaxy, so it's more likely that there's more on the way. But beyond speculation, we have no goddamned idea. And that concludes my theory crafting for now. If you like this video, quid pro quo, drop a like, maybe subscribe if you want to see more Destiny content from me, leave a comment on what you think is happening in the city below, and whether we'll actually be able to go into the city, talk to the people, and act like the gods we actually are among the average humanoid plebes. Or do you think that it's just going to be something in the background of the tower, and we're going to be watching it, and depending on whether we finish a mission or not, it's all just going to go away? I mean, do you guys remember when that light stuff wasn't in the sky until you beat the last level of Vanilla Destiny? I do. That was a long time ago. We'll see you next time, Guardians. Bye, Lucis Ambulate.
Shut the fuck up, Varix.